Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks.
Could I get the digital copy of the things I buy here?
No. If you want to purchase anything, just let me know. Or if you have any rare finds. Let's see.
What? Why not?
I sell books, physical books.
Space is a premium on my ship. If I could download it to my slate, I could have a whole library.
There are places you can go for that, ma'am. Just not my shop. Good day.
Wait, can't we?
We're done here.
Great customer service, just super.
Harb, I need you to come fix my faucet.
Oh, this goddamn machine.
Days, and it's driving
It's
me
not
nuts.
usually this cranky. I bet in a past life it was a crankshaft. Or worse, a screw. Oh, nothing. A good handyman never blames his tools. But that doesn't stop him from berating them. Hey, I may be prickly at times, but that last guy was too rude for me to be polite. I bet he was once a screw. And then that screw got loose. Now, he just drives people nuts. But we are all capable of change. Maybe tomorrow we will be a bolt. Wait, hold on. I think I got it. Let me just tighten this bolt here and... There. Good as new. And my apologies to you for being so irritable. I didn't expect you to say that. Most of my customers don't have a sense of humor. Oh, I must sound so ungrateful. I know I'm lucky to even have work. Let me stop with the complaining and offer you a drink instead. I have some coffee and tea at my workshop, if you'd like some. Coffee it is. Hope you like it black. I don't have any cream or sugar. Come, this way. Apologies in advance for the mess. I swear, it was like that when I got here. Welcome to my humble abode. Emphasis on the humble. I don't have a bed, but I do have a kettle. Baby steps. Anyway, one coffee coming right up. Here you are. Courtesy of House Harbhajan. It's the least I can do for being so cranky. Ah, right. Him. To be fair, most of them are civil. Some are even my friends. But there are a few that really grind the gears. Oh, it's not that I don't enjoy being a handyman. It's just... I've been thinking about my life a lot lately. And whether I've made the right decisions. What if I went right instead of left, that sort of thing. Where, where would I be now? Oh, you've hit a fork in the road too. Well, I'd flip a coin. At least then, you have something else to blame. Well, you're right, but how often do we do what's best for us? Maybe the version of me that went right was better about that. Anyway, I appreciate you coming here and listening to me vent. If you've got questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them. On the couch. It's not great for my back, but it's pretty good for my wallet. I've tried, but it's like trying to push a boulder uphill. I just don't have the energy to do it. Oh, that. I forgot I left it there. But if I'm being frank, I'd sooner just throw it in the trash. It's because of the history between us. Ocean wrote that inscription as if she were my friend. In reality, we were more like rivals. You might read what she wrote and think it a kindness, but to me, it's petty. So I left it behind. But, like a bad habit, it keeps coming back to me. Oh, I'm sure. She always loves to take little digs and act innocent when you question the motives. Normally, I would just laugh it off. I don't know why this time it hurts so much. The thing is, I'd forgotten all about it. And then I get this book, and I started wondering, what if I made a mistake? I was 18 when the colony war started, with everyone off to fight. There was so much to do around here, and people needed help. Cooking fancy meals and becoming a chef just didn't matter anymore. But ever since I got that book, I've been wondering if I've made a mistake. And if so, maybe it's not too late. Maybe I can try and be a chef again. I wish I could tell you. I would come home from work exhausted, and the easiest thing to do was sit on my couch and eat chunks. At some point, that became my routine. It's funny, this place has a fairly big kitchen, and I'm using it to store my junk. That's a great idea, as long as they can be honest. Okay. I've made up my mind. I need to gather some friends and cook a meal. A vindaloo. If it's good and my skills haven't eroded, I'm going to pursue this. But to pull this off, I'm going to need some help. With the ingredients and the guests. Thank you. We'll need 3 things. Vinegar and spices for the vindaloo, drinks, and meat. And as it happens, I know 3 people who can help us. They just happen to be customers of mine. Friends can try to spare your feelings. Customers tell you exactly what's on their mind. Sometimes with expletives. It's hard to explain. Being a chef was a dream of mine, yes. But it was also a dream from 20 years ago. So much has changed since then. I'm not sure if it's regret, envy, or nostalgia that drives me now. But ever since I read that inscription, it's awoken something inside me. Maybe I simply want to answer that age-old question, what if? What if I had trained to be a chef like Ocean? Where would I be now? Typically, wine doesn't pair well with curry, but if we keep the spice subtle, I think it can work. Red wine is probably what we need. Back on Seoul, they used to make it with that, before switching to vinegar. Talk to Anandita Devi. She's a food critic, and grew up on Indian food, so she'll make for the perfect guest. She's usually over at the Stone Root Inn. I can talk to the kings of the produce and spices. They run the farms here. But the vinegar has to be special ordered. I'd talk to Javier Mejia. He's the trader who sells a lot of off-world items to the local farmers. Palm vinegar being one of them. And a Vindaloo has to have vinegar. It's in the name. The meat should be fresh, and I don't necessarily trust the vendors. I think we should bring in a hunter. Try talking to Shonda Harbhajan. You'll usually find her at the hitching post. She's kind of a living legend around these parts. They call her Granny Oakley for a reason. Goodbye.
If you are free soon... we talk?
A year or two back, I shared a drink with Ron Hope.
To discuss with
Damn
you
it.
Are you my blind date?
when you have time.
Well, if you are terribly late. I don't think this bodes well for the rest of our relationship. In fact, judging by your attire, you'll be lucky to survive the next 5 minutes.
Need to find a time.
I was thinking... neon?
Neon? They're barely a part of
Really?
our collective.
The first thing out of your mouth is a cliché. This is not going well for you.
Town's not that different from
You can't possibly be the person my sister told me about. Which means I've been stood up. How quaint. Do you mind then, telling me who you actually are?
Could be so much fun. They say everything's legal on Neon.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm sure whoever this person was, they were intimidated by the mere sight of me and went scurrying back home. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last. It's an ego boost, really. Harbhajan sent you. In that case, of course I'll attend. On one condition. You sit here and take my date's place. Splendid. You're just my type. Willing to do as I say. Now, if you don't mind taking a seat here, we can have a little fun. Go on, sit. Step into my parlor. I promise I won't bite.
We got a lot of bars in the city. All class joints. Well, except Agnes.
I've already started with the drinks. Would you like a wine or a beer? May I suggest, then, this Pinot Noir from Chandra Vineyards. It has notes of cranberry and licorice. Goes well with the dust. Now, tell me about yourself. Are you from around here or just visiting? So you're visiting? Lucky you. Can't imagine what it's like to be one of these poor souls who calls this mud pit home. That aside, you can live just about anywhere these days. It's more important to have the income to move about. What about a job? What do you do for a living? I am a food critic, a wine taster, and an adventurer of sorts. I get paid to travel the world, highlight the extravagant and excoriate the bland. It's really what I was born to do. And now, it's your turn to share. What do you do for a living? Oh, so you're unemployed. I'm afraid if you want to date me, that won't do. In fact, it's taking everything in my power not to walk out the front door. Granted, I am rich, so what you do for a living isn't really important. What matters more is that we have similar beliefs and politics. On that note, what's your religious background? I like to think of myself as a spiritual tourist. I read horoscopes, believe in karma, but only because reality tends to be boring. That's all right. As long as you're not too preachy about it, it's fine with me. I have plenty of friends who go to church. Well, that's fine for the appetizers. Now, for the main course. Romantic history, past relationships, jilted ex-lovers. I want to hear all about it. None of them could really keep up with me, I'm afraid. When I travel the galaxy, I don't slow down for anyone. Ooh, if that's the case, I may need to ask for your medical records, just in case. Well, you've managed to keep my interest so far. Usually I get dreadfully bored by the appetizers. I almost never make it a dessert. I'm starting to get butterflies just thinking about it. But seeing as our friend Harvey needs us, that will have to wait for another time. In any case, I've enjoyed our little chat. Thank you for playing along. And if I can be real with you for a second, I really appreciate you doing this for me. I know this wasn't an actual date, but being stood up is an absolutely miserable experience. Meeting you made it tolerable. That's a fact. Here's the wine, as promised. The earthy tones of the Malbec will balance the pepper and complement the spices. Should pair well with the Vindaloo. I'll do my best to make it to Harbhajan's party. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. I'm an open book. The Dawn's Roost is overrated. You're paying mostly for the presentation. No. And I must absolutely reek of desperation for agreeing to it. I often mock movies that fail the Bechdel test. I can't even pass it in my own life. Harbhajan and I have been friends since we were college age. I like to say my first job as a food critic was a scathing review of his midnight ramen. We've grown apart over the years, but I stop by and see him whenever I'm in town. Yes, in the sense that I don't have relationships. I'm always on the move and have nowhere to meet people. And I despise being in a group setting. Thanks. People assume because I'm abrasive that I don't have feelings. Underneath, I'm a mess just like everyone else. But yes, over the years I've tried to unpack it. Why do I always go out alone? And I think it's because I feel loneliest when I'm around other people. Probably because they have what I don't. Partners. So long story short, I agreed to this blind date. Because I am tired of being the single one and having my self-worth judged for it. It's quote-unquote diner food, boring and pedestrian. The food I grew up on was full of bold, zesty flavors. Sometimes I wonder if the chefs here are allergic to spices. But to their credit, the food here knows what it is and delivers on that promise. Nostalgia for home-cooked simple foods. I would avoid Aggies, however, unless you're nostalgic for teeth in your stew. The occasional bar fight does make for good entertainment, though. Honestly, I really don't know, but I've had awful luck with dates as of late. You would think meeting a stranger in Aquila was rock bottom, but no, they had to stand me up on top of it. Charmed.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, what?
Feel free to read.
Things are always rough here in the stretch. People just want to live. What do you want? Can't you go bother somebody else? That depends. Are you gonna leave me alone if I tell you? Harb? Well then, that's different. What does he want? Well, I haven't made a run to Paradiso in weeks, so I've only got one bottle left. But if it's for Harb, maybe I'll make an exception. How about this? I'll give you the vinegar and whatever spices you need. But you gotta do a favor for me. Cool. Job isn't hard, but it'll take some finesse. So, a couple nights ago, security confiscated my goods. They accused me of smuggling contraband. Before they brought me in, though, I stashed something important in the porta-potty behind Aggie's. Only problem is, I left the key to the box in the cell. It's nothing illegal, I promise. Just get the key and bring it back here. The guard and I have history. I used to run with a rough crowd. Was what you might call delinquent. I'm a different man now, but security, they don't ever let you forget who you were. Cool. The guards usually leave empty cells open, so just walk in, grab it, and bring it back to me.
Problem right now, but I've been to other stores.
Over there. Tourist?
I give them free.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Aren't you the one who took down the Crimson Fleet? Buddy and Sis Def was telling me all about it. Amazing stuff.
Can we speak for a moment? I was just thinking about you.
Don't break the law. Put in my book.
The junk you have here.
I didn't ask you to do that. Your job was to get the key. But whatever, it looks like it's all here. Deal's a deal. You can give this to Harb. It's pretty good stuff, so he has no excuses. And tell him I'm interested in seeing what he cooks up. Not what you thought it was it? Fair. And I didn't give you any reason to think otherwise. My girlfriend's father works in Freestar Security. Given my rap sheet, safe to say he doesn't approve of our relationship. If he saw the formula, it wouldn't take a detective to put 2 and 2 together. Knowing him, the first thing he'd do is lock me up. It's not that simple. He's busted me on a few occasions. And her ex, he's a member of the guard. So in his eyes, I'm not only a junkie, but I'm a homewrecker too. Meanwhile, her ex can do no wrong, even though he's done plenty. We were both staying at the Low House. She was 2 months pregnant at the time and just got out of a rough situation with her ex. I had just gotten clean. We talked about our problems, our hopes, our dreams, all the way until the sun came up. Then we went to Aggie's for breakfast. Best meal of my life. You know, sometimes something just feels right from the get-go, like it all just clicks. That was me and Sadie. I'm not real handy, and Harb's always helped me out when I needed it. I guess you can say I owe him one. Don't tell anyone about our business.
Hey there.
Bank robberies. Ashton. Haven't had a quiet day in a month of Mondays. But if you ask me, a little noise ain't a bad thing. Not me. I love the excitement, especially at my age. It's good to know the old ticker can still pump. In Aquila, there's always something, but it's all good fun if you ask me. Now, the Colony War, that was bad as all get out. But we're past that now. Anyway, I don't want to talk your ear off, seeing as we just met. Tell me what's on your mind. Oh yeah, they tried to tell me I was too old, too slow, as if they knew better. Some of these lieutenants think the sun rises to hear them crow, but they ain't roosters. They're bats, blind as amber in a grain field. So, I challenged the lieutenant to a shooting contest. Said if I win, I'm in. Ooh, you should have seen the look on his face when I put the eye in the bull. Ended up serving as a sniper. They called me Granny Oakley because of the way I shot. Andy Harvey said that? Well, he told you no lies. I know where all the best game is. In fact, I'm hunting a big one right now. You want to come with? Then let's go get it.
Welcome to the hitching post. It just opened.
Let's
So
go
it's
hunt
good to
this
have you.
thing. An Ashta, alpha of the pack, got teeth so big and breath so bad it'll blow the sheets off the clothespin. I've nicknamed him Bubba. Why? He looks like a Bubba. But for all I know, his mother named him Mortimer. I've run into him once before and barely made it out with my life, so this is kinda personal. See you around.
Day for a drive, is it not? In the midst of nothingness. That looks like a damn good piece of meat. If Harb can't make magic out of that, he's got no business carrying a wand. Fresh and tenderized, just make sure you pick the bullets out and you'll be fine. But I best be heading back to town. I take it Harb wants me to eat this thing he's cooking up too. Well, hunting does make me hungry, and I ain't exactly picky. All right, I'll meet y'all at Harb's house.
I got some errands to run, but you tell Harb not to serve that food until I'm at the table. See you there.
You would think that deadly...
Ah, you're back. Did you get everything on the list? Great. I had some issues with the stove, worn out burner element, but I replaced it and rewired the connection, good as new. Well, I've always had the talent to be a handyman. Fixing stuff just comes easy to me. I spent so much time on the stove, I didn't have time to clean. Do you think you can help me while I cook? You're a lifesaver. There's some boxes and wrappers scattered along the floor, and some mud that I might have tracked into the restroom. But it's not much, I promise. Now let's see. How did this go again? Oh, I have these notes on how to cook this thing, but my handwriting is atrocious. Oh, I just cut my hand. Not a good start. Why is this so much harder than I remember? The place is looking amazing. Coming along better than this Vindaloo anyway. Oh, and if you don't mind, can you set up the rug? It's in the crate in the corner. The rug really ties the room together. I just need one more thing. Grab the plates off the counter and set the table. With a little luck, a little elbow grease, we can get this place looking good again. Okay, place is clean and table set. The Vindaloo is also just about ready. This is it, the moment of truth. And there. The guests should be coming any second now. My heart feels like a clump of sheets in a washing machine. Oh, and if you want to sneak a taste of the Vindaloo, I'll leave a sample on the counter.
Did I hear someone say Vindaloo?
It'll be good to hear what all the fuss is about.
Smells good. Anyway.
Friends, have a seat. My home is your home. Tonight, we will be having Ashta Vindaloo, paired with a Malbec wine, which Amanda has so graciously brought. I'm plating it now, and I will serve it shortly.
Well, I'm holding you to my Nani's standard, so you better not disappoint. But if you do, I brought a second bottle, just in case.
Have a little faith in Harvey. He's a talented man.
I grew up on Vindaloo, and Harb hasn't touched a cookpot in years. My standards are high, and my expectations low.
Well, I appreciate the honesty.
I'm just ready to eat. Haven't had a bite all day.
Of course. I was just about to say, if everyone can be seated, the dish should be ready to serve. Even though I prepared it, since all of us contributed to this meal, in my mind, we cooked it all together.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun eating Bubba. I've been hunting that animal for
ingredients I got are pretty high-end stuff, too.
And the wine, of course, is flawless.
Well, before you eat, I just want to thank all of you for coming and sharing in this adventure. 20 years ago, I decided to give up my dreams of becoming a chef to serve my community. Today, I hope to take my first step towards rediscovering that dream. Bon appetit.
Cheers!
Go home.
So, how is it? Please, be as frank and honest as possible.
I think mine might be lacking some flavor. You sure you put enough spice in this thing?
Huh. That's odd. I followed my old recipe to the T.
I don't know then.
Anandita, what do you think?
You don't want to know my opinion.
Please? I need honest feedback.
Very well. Forget my Nani's Vindaloo. You have a ways to go before this is even takeout quality.
Really? There's no way.
I'm sorry, Harbhajan. It is.
Can someone pass the salt?
Doesn't seem to be going too well. Have you tried it? What do you think? It's that bad, huh? Oh, I was afraid of that. If I have this little feel for it, I'm beginning to wonder if this was a mistake.
Harb, this dinner was many things, but it was not a mistake.
So I have some potential.
No, you don't. But that's not why we're here.
I'm not sure I follow.
Harvey, your meat might be tough, but you know what's tougher? The canvas tents you made me for camping. I got stuck out in a storm one night with gale force winds. Normal tent would have blown right off, but yours held.
I remember when I was struggling to get by, I couldn't afford to get my apartment fixed. Harbhajan offered to remodel and fix my entire apartment at a cost I could afford. Those savings allowed me to gather enough creds to start my own company. The rest is history.
I never told anyone. But Harb's the reason I'm clean. I was in a bad spot at the time. Strung out, doing more chems than I knew I could handle. I don't remember much from that day. Just my mind blurring out, losing focus. I hear this knock on my door. I thought it was death. Turned out it was Harb, coming to fix the heater. He called a medic and stayed with me the whole time. Even through my rehab, he'd stop by and make sure I was okay.
I was just doing what anyone would in my position.
No, what you did for me was more than anyone had ever done. Now I'm clean. I met the love of my life and got a little one on the way.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say a damn thing. We're all just thankful for you, Harb.
Exactly. So you're a shit cook, who cares? Half the chefs in New Atlantis can lay claim to that title. What matters is that you're a wonderful person and a friend.
Amen to that. And you're a genius with a wrench.
Fixed me and my heater. Didn't even charge.
Oh, you guys.
And this isn't to say you can't get better. Work on it. Cook every day if you like. The results will show.
Exactly.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear you all say that. It's funny. I very much wanted this dinner to go well. And it has. But not for the reasons I expected. And yes, I'll keep at it. I don't know if anything will come of it, but no matter where this journey takes me, I'm grateful for all of you. Of course, there is one small matter we still need to address. I brought you all here. You all must be starved, and there's nothing to eat.
We have plenty of wine and good company. Why don't we just drink?
Sounds like a plan. A toast to the best handyman in all of Aquila.
To Harb.
To Harb.
To Harb.
Harvey will be
So,
better than
I guess
both of
I'm
you.
not cut out to be a chef after all. It's kind of a relief, actually. I don't have to look back wondering what if. But even if I had the talent for it, I'm happy with the choice I made. To have friends like these, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And right now, I have none. I'm going to continue cooking with a new goal in mind. I don't care anymore about becoming a world-class chef. What I want is to make a vindaloo my friends will enjoy. When that day comes, I want you to be there as well. Because when I think of friends, I count you among them.
Sorry if I overshared back there.
I feel bad. Wine pairs with... I feel bad for